Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to this Facebook Live edition where we're going to be discussing the three appeal lanes that you can go ahead and take care of if your claim is denied. My name is Caleb McLagan. I'm a senior veteran coach here with VA Claims Insider. I served 5 years active duty in the United States Marine Corps. I was in the infantry, went on a couple deployments, have a couple deployments under my belt. I actually became a client of VACI a few years ago while I was going through school using my GI Bill. And so I partnered up with my coach here, and he was able to walk me through a strategy. He armed me with a bunch of education, and then he recommended medical evidence that I needed to go prove my claim with the VA, and was able to win all of my claims. And I am 100% permanent total service connected veteran. So now I get to share my success with other veterans and show them the way. Reach back and show them the way, how to navigate this VA process, this VA disability claims process, and it's so rewarding. I love sharing my success with all of my veterans during this time that I've been here, which is about a year and a half. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm a Marine as well, slightly older than Caleb, but I served for 4 years during the Gulf War. I got out shortly after the Gulf War. Unfortunately for me, there wasn't a company like this to help me get through the process. So it was a lot of trial and error on my part. So I can empathize a lot with the veterans who are going through this process, who aren't utilizing this company, or who maybe are but are struggling. It did take me 16 years, but I am 100% permanent and total as well. And I actually did work for the VA. I was a rating specialist with the VA for 6.5 out of 11 years of my time with the Veterans Administration. So I learned a lot of the ins and outs of what we can do, what we can't do, what we need to do in order to help make those claims successful. So I like sharing that experience with my veterans. Of course, I like sharing it with everybody in the company as well. So yeah, that's me. That's where I'm at.
Love it. Yeah, but let's go ahead and jump in. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to discuss, the three options to consider if your VA claim was denied. That's our topic for today. The three options to consider if your VA claim was denied. So yeah, Daryl, go ahead and kick it off, brother.
Absolutely. So everybody that ever filed a claim before February of 2019 knows that once you were denied, you were basically denied. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to reopen your claim, which is what they called it then, you had to come up with new and material evidence in order to substantiate that claim. But most of the time, that claim went to an appeals process. Now, that appeals process, which is now called the legacy appeals, that appeals process could take 5, 6, 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So the VA decided we need to change the way we do our appeals, right? So in comes the Appeals Modernization Act. Now they've offered up, instead of having that one just generalized appeal lane, now they've opened it up so they have 3 different lanes that you can choose from. And I'll just hit them real quick, and then we'll go more in depth of those. So they have the supplemental claim, mm-hmm. right? Then they have the HLR, the higher level review claim, and then they have they do have the option to go to the BVA or the Board of Veterans Appeals for when those 2 other lanes don't work properly.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, for me, the Appeals Modernization Act, it increased workload, but it also decreased the amount of time veterans were waiting. And this was all part of their attempt to break the backlog of appeals claims. And as far as I know, it's working pretty well.
Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss the first option. So first option, your supplemental claim lane. Right. This is a really great option to go down if you have new and relevant evidence that has popped up since you filed your original claim. OK, so you can file this supplemental claim, for more than one issue decided by the VA, but you must list them when you actually file. So can you talk a little bit about the new and relevant evidence, Daryl?
Yeah, absolutely. So it used to be called, back in the day, like I said earlier, it used to be called new and material, and so they changed it with the supplemental claim to new and relevant information because mm-hmm. Submitting a DD 214 or something like that they've already got of record doesn't do you any good. So, and that's the main point. Any evidence you submit has to be new and relevant, which is evidence that the VA has not used in the past to consider the claim. And the supplemental claim is used for those claims that were previously denied.
I think we mentioned it a couple times, but the number one reason that the VA denies claims is that lack of medical evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So that nexus letter or that independent medical opinion linking an in-service event to a current diagnosis is key when submitting the vast majority of claims. So, and again, this is what our organization does day in and day out. We come alongside you with our one-on-one coaching model, and we'll point you in the right direction of securing those nexus letters, securing those independent medical opinions through some of our referral partners that we have a great business working relationship with. So a quick note here, this will reset the effective date when you reopen the claim. Okay, so not when you initially filed the original claim. It will reopen when you reopen this new supplemental claim. It will reset that effective date. All right, option number 2, an HLR, that higher level review. From what we found here at VA Claims Insider, it is one of the easiest reviews that you can request. When you file that higher level review, an experienced decision review officer who wasn't involved in the original decision will take a fresh look at your claim. So a brand new set of eyes with a really, really experienced decision review officer. So that's a really great avenue to go again. If you experience a denial. Daryl, anything else to add there?
Yeah. So when you're looking at a higher level review, back in the day, that was the appeal route you went. Was your claim was looked at by what's called a decision review officer. Mm-hmm. All right. Those decision review officers, as well as the higher level review specialist, they have the ability to do a de novo review, which is a review of your entire file. So they've got that experience. They can go back and look over everything and either make a new decision. But one thing they can't do, which I find is just purely beneficial to the veteran. So if you have a mental health condition and they assign a 50% evaluation and you feel like you should have been at a 70, so you file that higher level review, the higher level reviewer cannot reduce that 50%. They can only grant higher or confirm and continue the 50% decision. So, that's a beneficial route to go, especially if you feel like your symptoms were a lot worse than the VA came back with, or you had medical evidence that shows that your symptoms were a lot worse than the VA came back with.
Time is the biggest factor when choosing the HLR. These decisions generally come back a lot faster than the appeal to the Board of Veterans Appeals. So HLR, the higher level review, must be filed within 12 months since that denial came back. Okay, so if you're inside that 12 months, that previous decision or that previous claim that was denied is eligible for a higher level review. If you're outside that 12 months, that option it will be off the table. So you'll have to go the supplemental route and submit new and relevant evidence. Okay. The other thing with the higher level review is you're not allowed to submit any new evidence like you were able to do with the supplemental claim. So two huge differences between the supplemental claim and the higher level review. So just want to introduce that comparing and contrast element there. If you're unhappy with that higher level review decision, you can go back to the supplemental claim process, which we spoke about earlier, or you can move on to this third and final option, the Board of Veterans appeal, the appeal to the Board of Veterans. This appeal process, the Board of Veterans appeal process, is directly to the Board of Veterans Appeals. Okay, so when you file an appeal with the BVA, you're putting your appeal on a very slow track, much slower than the other two options, to get to a judge versus the other two ways, which doesn't go in front of a VA judge. Let's go ahead and break this down, Daryl. What does this mean for our veterans? What does this look like?
So for me, the only time I would ever suggest using this is when you've exhausted all your supplemental and all your HLR routes,
right?
Because now you are going to the BVA and you are asking the BVA to take a look, usually a judge, to take a look at your claim. So there are 3 different routes you can go within the BVA route. You can do the direct docket, right? That's where somebody that's where a judge reviews all the evidence themselves, and then they make a decision. It's kind of similar to a higher level review. You're not going to be able to add more evidence. Mm-hmm. Then you got the evidence docket where you can add more evidence, and it's looked at by a judge also. And then you've got a hearing docket where you can actually go in front of a judge, or usually it's done via either in the regional office or via video conference.
We here at VA Claims Insider, we live to serve those who have served, right? Like, we are here to work with you, coach you along the way, cheer you on throughout this confusing disability claims process. I mean, and I'll raise my hand. When I signed up with this organization, I was stuck. I was frustrated. I had claim after claim denied at a certain point, and my coach was able to help me slice through all the confusion and really get laser focused on what I needed to do specifically with my claim. Then it was my turn to go and run with the ball, right? Like, take ownership of my claim, run with the ball, and charge towards that goal line. And that's what we get to do here each and every day. Daryl, myself, all the other fantastic coaches we have here with the organization, give them all a huge shout out. They work so hard day in and day out to one, stay current on VA news and VA changes, right? Like that, if we're not current, then our information is outdated to all of you veterans, right? Like, so we stay up to date on all of the information, all the VA news and changes coming out. And then by staying up to date on all of those things, we're able to pass that knowledge on to all of our veterans. If you need our help, veterans serving veterans, please reach out to our organization, VAClaimsinsider.com. We love to be a part of your VA claims journey. So please take the step, join us, and we will give you our all. I promise you that.